Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another episode of Gentlemen's Club Whiskey. I am your host with the most, Mr. Mark Antimate, the pontiff of Japanese whiskey and your Tokyo godfather here. This is something that I introduced about a week and a half ago, but unfortunately I was heavily medicated. So I was taking these pills and I was going to the hospital, and I did not want to have the mixture concoction of beer plus pills. It sounds like something fatal could happen from that. So I did the smart thing and just not drink at all. But now that I am considered okay by medical standards and I'm able to drink again, today is the episode that you guys have been waiting for me to crack the seal of this Yamazaki beer. This one is the Suntory, the Premium Malts Master's Dream Yamazaki Original Whiskey Barrel Aged 2023 beer. Now, that is a complete mouthful. Essentially, the name of this beer is called Suntory, the Premium Malts Master's Dream. There we go. Suntory, the Premium Malts Master's Dream is the name of the standard beer line that this comes from. But this is a special iteration of that beer in which this beer has been finished inside of Yamazaki cask. Now, these are casks that had Yamazaki whiskey finished inside of them, aged inside of them. And when the cask was emptied out, the beer was put inside of it, and it was extracting the flavor of that whiskey onto the fermented beer. So that's what this is. Let me see, what did I write inside of the description of my previous video. This one comes inside of a 750 milliliter size bottle, 6,600 Japanese yen for this, and this is available now, but it might not be available too much longer. So if you live inside of Japan, you need to order this as soon as possible, preferably from Amazon or Rakuten.com. It's people selling it one per customer. And actually, I missed out on it, and I'm going to have to order it from Rakuten Japan. But there is another one of these. This is the second version, but there is another one that came out earlier in the year. It was the Hakushu Original Whiskey Barrel Age Suntory Premium Malts Master's Dream. So that one came out in June, and this one came out November 14th. So I'm going to have to get that one before it completely leaves the market. You're looking at the seal here, the seal of quality. If this thing is broken, it means don't open it because it's not official tissue. But I'm going to break this paper seal right now. Yeah. All right, the seal has been broken. And use my little I Love New York beer bottle opener. I bought this one in Times Square the last time that I went back to New York. Well, not the last time. About, I don't know, over half a decade ago, I bought this when I went back to New York. Let's crack this open. Oh, there we go. The seal has been completely broken now. Oh, the smell, the aroma of this, it smells like beer and whiskey. What a deadly combination there. A combination that I need to try right about now. Man, don't ask me how I'm going to finish off 715 milliliters of beer. This is like 2 pints, a pint and a half, maybe, but it's quite a lot for a small guy like me. That's how much we got left inside the bottle there. Let's go ahead and move this to the side. And there goes the box for old time's sake. Go ahead, get rid of that, throw that out of the way. And there goes the beer there. It has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful amber color to it. It looks like the fires of hell. That's where it's going to take you to if you drink this whole bottle by yourself. But man, look at all them bubbles going up inside of that thing. It looks just like the beer commercials. Woo! All right, let's go ahead and have a sip of this real quick. All right. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know if it's worth 6,600 Japanese yen. I would say the price on this one, how much it should have been charged, how much you should be charged for this, is probably more like 1,000 Japanese yen. I mean, that's them. If they're really stretching it, they should reach for 1,000 yen. But even still, I'm not sure if it's worth that much. The flavor's really nice. Can I say that I can taste whiskey on the palate from drinking this one? Not really. Not really. It does have a unique flavor that is a little bit more distinctive from the standard premium malts. I really have to reach deep here. All right. It does have a intense flavor to it. And it's a little bit complex. But I would be lying if I can say that I can taste whiskey inside of this. But as a beer, that is absolutely delicious, man. Foaming at the mouth, foaming at the beer. I'm trying. I'm really reaching deep here to get any type of hint of a taste of whiskey here. I am not. Not necessarily that you would, but you kind of guess that you would. Not so much the taste of whiskey, but you're looking for the taste of the barrel, because that's where whiskey itself derives its own flavors from. The longer that you leave it inside the cask, the more flavors it's going to extract from that wood that is going to give the whiskey its flavor. And seeing that this has been inside of that cask, you would expect to have some of those cask flavors to it. Trying not to belch on camera here, but man, it's pretty good. Very unique and distinctive taste. Let me see if it at least smells like whiskey. Well, doesn't smell like whiskey either, but to say the very least, it does also have a very distinctive, unique aroma to it. Can't quite place my finger on it. It's definitely a lot more refreshing of a malt beer flavor than a standard malt beer, and especially the one that comes from Suntory, in which this line is based off of. I'm happy I bought it. To say that I had it and to say that I've tried it, but it's really nothing special. If you're on the fence and wondering if you yourself should spend your hard-earned money on this, because that is quite a lot of money, for a Japanese person, 6,600 Japanese yen. Well, I mean, not even for a Japanese person, for an American as well. Even with the power of the dollar right now, if you bought this with U.S. currency, this is still going to run you in the ballpark of something like maybe 50 U.S. bucks, right? So to see that this is half of a buck. When I say a buck, I mean $100. To see that this beer alone is half a buck, man, that is a very hefty price to pay to play to drink this, just to say that you've had it. And you're hoping for something good. And it is good. It's very, very, very good. But $50? $50? $50? I don't know about all that, man. It looks beautiful. It tastes beautiful. Smells beautiful. But $50? $50. Man, those are crack prices, man. I can't believe it. But it'll go nicely with pretzels. Anyways, I'm getting ready to go watch some movies inside the next room. You guys see what it is. This is how much beer I have left inside of the bottle, and this is how much I have left inside of my glass. So, that's like a pint and a half. You know what? Let me just do the calculations here. Since I got the computer on me, 715 milliliters in pints. This is 1.5 pint. So it's not that bad. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, big guys. I'm a very small, slender, thin, slim, and neat guy. I'm not gay, by the way, so don't ask. Just because I look good doesn't mean that I swing that way. 110% hetero all the way. But what I'm trying to say is, not for slim guys like me who get drunk very easily and very quickly, but for the bigger man, they can down this bottle very easily inside of one sitting and probably very quickly. 1.5 pints is what this is, 715 milliliters. I'm going to finish it all tonight while watching a movie inside the next room on my new 55-inch TV. If you guys want to know more about that, head on over to my channel, Mark Antimati, which is here on YouTube, and I do reviews of all kinds of electronics and gadgets and tech and unboxings and things of that nature. And I just bought, what is it? Since I'm drinking beer and having a conversation with you guys, what the hell? Why don't I just tell you what it is? I bought one of these Fire TV sticks, 4K Maxes. This is the latest and greatest one of the Amazon Fire Sticks. This is the 2023 model, and this is the most expensive iteration of this that you can buy. The latest and greatest Fire TV stick is the 4K Max. So I just unboxed this on my other channel, Mark Antimate, and I got a TV, a brand new TV being delivered tonight in about an hour and 30 minutes from now. It's a Hisense TV. Now, I never thought that I would ever in my life buy a Chinese TV, and I was trying to stray away from it, but the story goes like this. I was looking at these Toshiba TVs, and I was getting ready to purchase a new Toshiba TV for about 80,000 Japanese yen. No, it was 87,000 Japanese yen. And come to find out that not Toshiba as a whole, not as a company, not as a brand, but the TV line, the TV brand of Toshiba, they sold 95% of their share of the TV brand of Toshiba to this Chinese company called Hisense. So Hisense owns 95% of that. So it means that pretty much all the Toshiba TVs that you see out there inside of Japan, inside of the United States, no matter where you are inside of the world, you hit up an electronic store or you go out there digitally on Amazon or whatever, and you see a Toshiba TV, whether it's an OLED, an LCD, whatever. This thing is going to be owned and made by a Chinese company called Hisense. And come to find out, I was swearing I was not going to buy a Chinese TV because I believe that they're cheap brands. Just based on the history of Chinese electronics in general. Come to find out, they own Toshiba, not just that, but they're a pretty good maker of TV. And I think they, in terms of market share, in how much money they make from selling TVs, I think Hisense is number 2 inside the world for having the market share, which is pretty good. And the reviews that I've been looking at on YouTube and on Amazon have all been raving and good for Hisense. So I broke down and I bought a Hisense TV. I could have bought an LG OLED, but I bought a Hisense LCD. Now, you guys are going to be saying, you know what, Mark, you should have went ahead and just bought the LG because obviously the Koreans make the best TVs in 2023. And especially with it being an OLED, you know, that's even better than an LCD. Got a belch there. Let me tell you guys the news. Hold on. Let me have a taste of the beer real quick. The thing is this. Forgot what the point that I was getting ready to make. I think the beer's going to my head. I was saying that Hisense was pretty good. Yada, yada, yada. Where was I getting at with this, man? Okay, I remember what it was that I was getting ready to say. So I was debating on whether to buy the LG or the Hisense. They were pretty much the same price. I paid 78,000 Japanese yen for my TV, and the LG OLED TV was 79,000 yen. The reason why I picked the Hisense over the LG OLED was because the TV that I bought has 120 hertz refresh rate, which is very good if you have a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X or one of those current generation gaming systems, right? Which I do have, so I need that 120 hertz. So I bought it for that reason, and there was another reason that I got it for, is because it had HDR10 plus. Now, this is what both TVs had. They both had HDR10. They both had Dolby Atmos, and they both had Dolby Vision IQ. But what mine had over the OLED was that, like I said, it had the HDR10 plus, and it had, I already forgot what I said. Whatever I just said. There was two things that I said that it has. The 120 hertz refresh rate over the 60 hertz refresh rate that this OLED TV had. So this one was better inside the gaming sense, the LG TV was, right? So I bought it not only for those two reasons, but the other reason is that, you know, if you might do some PC work from time to time on the TV, the OLED could have burn-in from being on a static screen all the time. Whereas the LCD is not going to have burn-in where the image gets burned onto the screen. So I thought it was better for my purposes. Not only is it the LCD is more power efficient than the OLED TV, more power efficient, but you don't get the burn-in. And if you use the TV inside of like broad daylight, like let's just imagine that you have the curtains full open inside the afternoon. I could still look at the LCD inside of like direct sunlight, inside of bright light. But the OLED, you're only going to want to look at inside of a closed curtain scenario or late at night when you're watching movies and things of that nature. So the LCD was better for my purpose. So I bought the Hisense TV. But the OLED is pretty tempting as well. And I'm wondering if I made the right purchase, but I believe I did. And here's one more. This is the last defining factor on why I bought the LCD. Prices were literally almost the same. Is only a difference of like 100 yen. No, 1,000 yen. 78,000 Japanese yen for the one that I purchased versus 79,000 Japanese yen. Mine was a 55-inch LCD versus a 48-inch OLED. So I got 7 inches bigger. But that's the way she likes it, though. That's the way she likes it. Oh, man. I'm cracking myself up. If you guys have been watching this video for this long, I'm impressed. Give yourselves all a pat on the back for listening to me tipsy, topsy-turvy ramble with the beer inside of me about TVs and things that have nothing to do with the beer. Listen, this review was done long ago, but because I'm having so much fun with the beer, I thought I would just talk to you guys casually If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. You know, smash that like button, as they like to say on YouTube, because it really helps out the algorithm. And I'm on the chase to try to get 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So the more eyes that are laid on my videos and my whiskey reviews, my wine reviews, my spirit reviews, my soda reviews on this channel, it all helps me out, guys. So make sure you smash that like button to help me out inside the algorithm. And I think this is a good place to close this off at. I'm going to finish this one off with a movie. I thank you guys for watching. Smash that like button. Salute to you wherever you may be out inside the world. I may be a little bit tipsy, but I'm a very responsible drinker. I get I get tipsy inside the confines and the comfort of my own home, where I don't hurt anybody, I don't bother anybody, I'm not driving, I'm very safe. And when I do become tipsy, I become a little bit funny, right? I become a comedian, but I don't do anything much more than that. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you drink responsibly wherever you are inside the world, because you are not to be respected if you don't. In any ways, it is what it is. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. And until next time, peace. I'm out. All right. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I know you guys weren't expecting to see me at the end of the video, but here I am just to give an update. It's the very next morning after the night that I had opened this. And as you guys can see, it is finished now. What I want to say about this one really quickly before I close out this video is that I opened this beer at 7:00 p.m. last night. And I would say that I finished about 80% of the beer as it was last night. And I had about a good 20% left inside the bottle here. And I put it inside the refrigerator, and I went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning, meaning today, at about 8:30. I started drinking on this in the AM to finish off that last little 20% portion. And it was actually still good. It was more flat than what it was, but it was still good and flavorful. And I want to say it was not so bubbly, you know, because it wasn't freshly opened, but it did taste a little bit more whiskey-esque like the second day around. And I would probably what's the word I'm looking for? I would probably contribute that to it being a lot more flat like whiskey, which made it taste that way. All right. It was always a fruity beer to begin with, like just a melding of different types of fruit. I can't say any distinctive taste of fruit was inside of here, but it has always been a fruity beer, even yesterday. But the taste of wood and a crisp, fruity taste was even more upfront once the beer had calmed down, meaning all those bubbles were gone today. Now, I don't know what to tell you, because beer is supposed to be drank fresh. Like, you know, you open it up and it has all the fizz inside of there and the foam and the bubbles and all that. And it's nice and cold. That's the way that you want to drink it, freshly poured or inside of a bottle like this, freshly opened. You don't necessarily really want to sit on it 12 hours and then start drinking on it the next day just to try to make it taste more like something else. But I would say that that was the case with this beer, that it did started tasting a little bit more like whiskey once the beer itself had calmed down and I had put that wait time inside of it. That was completely unintentional. It's just I was looking at a movie last night and I was getting tired. And instead of finishing it, I just put it inside the refrigerator. Pulled it out this morning, and it is what it is. I don't recommend you buy this and open it and sit on it for 12 hours just so that you could get that whiskey type of flavor from it, because it's still not so much inside the realm of whiskey. It's just that it was a little bit more inside the realm of whiskey than what it was when it was initially open. Because whiskey is usually a drink that most people drink warm to begin with. You know, you pour it inside of your Glencairn glass. You don't put it you don't put the bottle of whiskey inside the refrigerator or the freezer. You just keep it out inside of room temperature. You pour it at room temperature and you drink it at room temperature. And, you know, that room temperature and the room temperature heat causes, you know, everything inside the whiskey to expand, the aromas and all of that kind of stuff. But if you were to put it inside the freezer, you know, to try to chill it, it's going to compact all them particles together, and it's going to make so that you can't smell the aroma that good, and you won't be able to get the flavors out of it that good. You won't be able to extract the flavors as much as you could if it was a warmer drink. So, and I think that was the way that it was with this beer, because beer is meant to be drank cold and whiskey's kind of meant to be drank warm. So it's either a compacting of flavors when it's cold, which means that there's less of an aroma to be spread out there, or, you know, it's warm and things is just going all kinds of ways. So it's just a conflict of interest, the way that you consume beer and whiskey. But it did taste more like whiskey this morning, and that's all I wanted to say. Anyways, I'm out, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.